What's up, everyone? Welcome back, and thank you for stopping in. Today, I have a couple of first impressions to do for you guys. These knives were sent in by a huge supporter of the channel, a good buddy of mine, Issuing Stitches, Bobby over there. He has his own Etsy store where he sells his hanks. His prints are awesome. The microfiber that he uses is just phenomenal. He has all kinds of different colors of microfiber. He does all kinds of different designs. He has a couple of different sized hanks. He has some more EDC sized, and then he's got some larger size like these. These are his newest hanks that I'm aware of, at least, and they are just phenomenal. These two go together like a little puzzle, and I didn't have it right at first, but these are his newest set of hanks, and just my favorite hanks, period, at this point. These two hanks are just so well done. I've had a couple people try to take them from me. You can use code GBALL10, all caps, and that will get you 10% off your entire order. Whether you buy one hank or you buy 10, you can get that 10% off code. Make sure you use all capitals on the GBALL10. Now, we do have the Grun. I don't know if I'm saying that right. The Grun or the Grun, and we have the Gust. Now, these are the first Bokers that I have ever had on the channel, other than when I unboxed these. So I am thrilled to get these on the channel. Bobby sent in a massive box of knives, over 15, 16 knives, I think, at least. And there was a couple Bokers in there. This is a Serge Panenko design, something like that. Panchenko design, that's what it is. Serge Panchenko. Nice little stone washed drop point blade here. Nice little swedge at the top. These are both steel frame locks. This, yeah, it's a Vox design. I was going to say, this looks a lot like a Voxnez. I guess he does quite a bit of work with Boker, I'm guessing then. This one I like right offhand because of the size. I like this one. This one is a little smaller, but it feels good in hand. He threw some aftermarket thumb studs on here. They both have this is an ultra deep carry clip, and that's semi-deep carry. You only have a tiny little bit sticking out there. He threw an aftermarket lanyard on here. Looks like he likes this one quite a bit. Put a lanyard on it, put some aftermarket thumb studs on it. Almost looks like it could have been a front flipper there. I don't think it's meant to do that, but got a little front non-usable front flipper there. This one is just the key-shaped hole, I guess, if you want to say it like that. The teardrop hole. I like this one. Drop point blade. This is a satin, and it is coming in D2. I don't know if you'll be able to make it out down there near the tang. You have a brass pivot ring. This is more of your soft micarta, like the natural soft micarta f3.5. So that must be the version this is. The f3.5 Gruen or Grun. I don't know how they're saying that. The action on this one is pretty good. This one is a little softer in the action department. The detent is a little lighter. My finger got in the way on that one. I see why he put the studs on there. That actually works out pretty good. I was going to say, I wonder if you could drill that out and put a set there. I don't know if there's quite enough room. From everything that I've seen, Boker really likes to use D2. I've looked at a couple on Amazon and a few other places, and a lot of those are in D2 steel. They do a lot of different, this is a steel frame lock with a copper show side. This is a steel frame lock. You have like a brass anodized looking deep carry pocket clip. I like the aesthetic of it. It looks really good. It goes with the knife pretty well, I would say, especially having that collar there around the pivot. Stone washed on that. That's more of like a bead blast. I don't know that you'll really be, you can kind of tell. This is more of a stone wash. This is more of a bead blast with a semi stone wash in it. I really like this one. I dig this one, this Fox design. The Surge, I like it. I like the aesthetic of it. I just don't know that it's comfortable. I could see this being a good secondary, I suppose. I'm always thinking of a primary knife. It's when I think of, then I remember, oh yeah, you can carry 2 or 3 or 4 knives. But yeah, this would be a good secondary size knife here. You can see there, this one's quite a bit bigger in handle and in blade. Similar blade shapes. This one's more of a spear point. Close anyway. Very close. I like this blade shape though on this one. It really reminds me similarly to the Drop Bear. The Drop Bear is definitely a touch more of a spear point than this guy is. And then this one you kind of have that traditional drop point look. Almost kind of reminds you of a very shallow clip point, that doesn't really clip. It almost looks like it's about to be a clip point is what I mean. And it comes down to a nice little drop. I really like this guy here. This is the F3.5. I think it's Canvas Micarta Groon. On the box it says green, but that's definitely not green. I'm assuming he either ordered the green or they sent him, I don't know if they sent him the wrong one or how that worked. On the box it says green canvas, so that is definitely not green canvas. That's all right though, if he likes it anyway. I kind of like the look of it. It kind of reminds me of a old school gentleman's knife is what it really looks like. I like that. This one does too. They kind of pair together very well. I like this copper. I like the stone wash on the blade. I got to get myself a Boker. They're not something I've looked at very often, and I do not know much about Bokers. I do know they have some unique designs. I do know they like using D2, and they are fairly creative when it comes to some of their higher end steel choices. They'll use old wartime vehicles that were in a war or something of that nature, and they'll take the steel from that said tank or airplane or whatever it is, and they'll turn it into like a Damascus type blade. And I believe those are typically quite expensive. I believe they did one with a Sherman tank steel, and they've either done some from an airplane or a fighter jet or something like that. They're pretty unique in how they do some of their steels. And then you have knives like these where they're sticking with the tried and true D2. There's nothing wrong with well heat treated D2, especially up to a certain price point. I do know Bokers typically run a little bit more expensive than some of your other budget line D2 knives, i.e., like Kubi, Sencut. There's a bunch of different, Ganzo, Sativian, uh, Petrified Fish. I mean, there's a big list of knives or companies who make budget knives in the D2 area, and I would say those are routinely $20 to $30 less than these are on average anyway. But Boker's built a massive name for themselves, and they can charge whatever they want. And I think usually they do just fine. So more power to them. This one thwacks out of there. I like this one. I'm not a huge fan of steel frame locks. I don't have many of them. It's not really by a certain design. There just hasn't been many steel frame locks that I've seen that I've been interested in. I think I might have one, maybe two in my collection, and one is the Civivi Knox, and the other one was a gift, a Kershaw Natrix. Well, it wasn't a gift. I bought it for a certain reason, but so I don't have many steel frame locks, but they're not really as heavy as some people would like to make them out to be. They got some weight to them, but they're not. So that one, that's right about where you'd want to be. Yeah. So that one's pretty good as far as balance. And this guy is about the same. It's a little tail heavy, but not bad at all. Especially considering you got copper and steel back here. So that's proportioned pretty good. That one feels... They're both kind of weighty, but nothing close to like an 80-10 or an 80-15. They're not even close to that. So don't think in a sense like that. A lot of people make things out to be way worse than they really are. Like saying steel frame locks are too heavy to carry, and they're definitely not. I will be doing a full individual overview of each of these knives, probably in a separate video. I just figured I would get these first impressions done. I'm going to group because there's so many of them, and I would like to get them back to Bobby sooner rather than later. I'm going to do a couple groups of first impressions, and then I'll bring out individual overviews, and then I'll probably send them back to Bobby, because otherwise, in order to do even a short-term review on those knives, I would have to keep them for way longer than I'm comfortable with keeping them. So I will probably do a first impressions on all of them, do an individual overview, and that will probably be it for those knives. But let's say thank you to Bobby. Head on over to his store and give his Etsy store a look. It is awesome, the amount of hanks he's amassed on there over the last couple years. I love supporting him. He's a great dude. He is from Pennsylvania, lives in Pennsylvania like I do. So it is awesome to support a brother from Pennsylvania who shares the same love for EDC and gear like I do. So huge shout out to you, man. Thank you. That'll be it for this one, guys. If you're still here and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below the video. What are you doing? Hit that thumbs up button. Leave a little comment down below. I will catch you later.